Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. A storm is quietly brewing within the Miami Dolphins locker room, and it appears that the eye of it has been exposed by none other than Jalen Waddle, who dropped a bombshell statement that has sent shockwaves through the NFL community. Sources close to the team suggest that the normally composed wide receiver has had enough of the ongoing tension with Tyreek Hill, claiming he no longer feels comfortable lining up alongside him during games. Waddle's comments, initially framed as a casual conversation with insiders, have ignited a firestorm of speculation, with rumors swirling that the rift between the two star players runs deeper than anyone outside the locker room could have imagined. While the Dolphins have historically prided themselves on a culture of unity and collaboration, whispers from practice sessions indicate that Hill's presence has been increasingly polarizing, creating friction not only with Waddle but also with other key members of the squad. The narrative growing around the team paints a picture of a fractured environment, where personal dynamics threaten to overshadow on-field performance. Fans are naturally captivated by the drama, dissecting every interview and social media post, searching for hints of reconciliation or confirmation that the Dolphins' star-studded lineup is quietly teetering on the edge of internal collapse. The implications of Waddle's revelation extend far beyond a simple dispute between two players, casting doubt on the Dolphins' ability to maintain cohesion during a critical stretch of the season. Analysts and insiders are now speculating that the conflict could impact the team's offensive strategy, particularly given Hill's pivotal role in the passing game and Waddle's own reputation as one of the league's most explosive and reliable wideouts. The idea that the Dolphins may be forced to reconsider their personnel alignments has ignited a frenzy of hypothetical scenarios, with some imagining trades, benchings, or even dramatic public confrontations as potential outcomes if the tension continues to escalate. Meanwhile, social media platforms are ablaze with fan theories, some supporting Waddle's stance, others defending Hill, and many more simply reveling in the unfolding saga, highlighting the power of rumor in shaping perceptions of professional sports. This kind of internal discord, especially when it involves marquee players, rarely stays behind closed doors, and the Dolphins' front office reportedly faces mounting pressure to mediate the situation before it spirals further, suggesting that this story is far from reaching its climax and could redefine the team's narrative for months to come. Insiders have hinted at a pattern of friction surrounding Hill, suggesting that his style both on and off the field has rubbed some teammates the wrong way, contributing to the growing divide within the Dolphins' locker room. While Hill is widely recognized for his incredible talent and game-breaking speed, these same qualities may have inadvertently fueled resentment among peers who feel overshadowed or undervalued in comparison. Waddle's candid admission has merely brought these simmering tensions into the spotlight, providing what many fans and pundits are calling the first tangible confirmation of an issue that had previously been the subject of speculation and quiet whispers. In addition, sources claim that team meetings and huddles have occasionally become arenas for subtle power struggles, where lines are drawn and alliances within the squad become visible only to those watching closely. The optics of such a divided locker room are particularly concerning for a team like the Dolphins, which entered the season with high expectations and aspirations for playoff success. The situation now poses a dilemma for coaching staff, who must balance maintaining team discipline and harmony with leveraging the undeniable talent of both Hill and Waddle, illustrating the complex and often precarious dynamics of modern professional sports environments. The psychological aspect of this revelation cannot be overstated, as players often perform at levels dictated not just by physical ability, but by comfort, trust, and mutual respect within the squad. Waddle's statement, framed as a personal boundary, underscores the emotional toll that strained relationships can take in high-stakes professional sports. The narrative emerging from Miami suggests that while fans may see dazzling plays and highlight reels on Sundays, the human elements behind those performances are far more nuanced and fragile than often appreciated. The rumor mill now has a fertile ground to explore, with theories ranging from subtle intimidation to outright favoritism, and some insiders even suggest that the discord could be affecting practice intensity, team morale, and locker room cohesion in ways that are difficult to quantify. Meanwhile, rival teams may quietly monitor the situation, knowing that any internal strife among a competitor's stars could present an opportunity to exploit weaknesses on game day. The evolving drama, painted through Waddle's unexpected candor, has transformed what might have been considered routine team dynamics into a headline-grabbing saga that touches on identity, respect, and power within one of the NFL's most high-profile franchises. Observers of the Dolphins organization are noting that the ripple effects of this disclosure extend into multiple layers of the franchise, from front office personnel navigating media fallout to assistant coaches recalibrating playbooks to accommodate potential interpersonal limitations. The speculation about how long Hill and Waddle can coexist without tension has become a central topic in sports podcasts, social media threads, and betting circles, illustrating how a single candid statement can metastasize into a multidimensional discussion involving strategy, psychology, and public perception. Some insiders argue that the team's upper management may be quietly exploring contingency plans, evaluating everything from mid-season trades to restructuring leadership roles within the locker room, aiming to mitigate the potential damage of internal friction. Meanwhile, fans are dissecting every past play and interview, retroactively reading signs of discord into highlight reels, which fuels further intrigue and keeps the rumor cycle alive. In this context, Waddle's revelation functions as both a spark and a lens, drawing attention to existing fractures while amplifying their perceived severity. The challenge for the Dolphins now lies in balancing transparency with discretion, as acknowledging the issue too openly could exacerbate tensions, while ignoring it risks eroding trust and team culture from within, making every decision a high-stakes gamble. Sports psychologists point out that conflicts between high-profile teammates can become self-perpetuating, as negative sentiment tends to breed further tension if not properly addressed. In the Dolphins' case, the Waddle-Hill rift has already sparked internal conversations about leadership, communication styles, and the subtle hierarchies that exist in professional locker rooms. Analysts suggest that resolving such disputes requires deliberate effort, including mediated discussions, clearly defined roles, and a shared vision that transcends individual ego. Yet the rumor mill suggests that these measures may not have been fully implemented, or at least not effectively, leaving open the possibility that the conflict could intensify as the season progresses. Fans and commentators are increasingly framing this situation as a test of the Dolphins' organizational maturity, questioning whether the front office can navigate personality clashes while maintaining on-field competitiveness. The unfolding drama also offers a cautionary tale about the modern media landscape, where any statement by a star player can be amplified into a headline story, influencing public perception and even impacting sponsorships, ticket sales, and broader team reputation. In this way, Waddle's admission is more than a personal grievance. It is a narrative that could reverberate far beyond the gridiron. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments. What's your take on the Fins this week? The broader NFL community is watching the situation with a mixture of fascination and apprehension, as such high-profile locker room tensions are rare but often highly consequential. Rumors suggest that rival teams are quietly analyzing Dolphins game footage with renewed intensity, looking for tactical patterns that could indicate a lack of synchronization or miscommunication between Waddle and Hill. This type of scrutiny highlights how individual relationships within a team can have cascading effects on overall performance and strategic planning. Meanwhile, fan forums are alive with debate, speculation, and conjecture as supporters dissect every interaction, comment, and social media post, searching for clues about the depth of the discord. The story also raises questions about the long-term implications for team culture, as unresolved conflict can influence younger players, shape perceptions of leadership, and even affect recruitment and retention of future talent. As the saga unfolds, Miami Dolphins games may no longer be viewed purely through the lens of athletic performance, but also as a theater where personal dynamics and interpersonal drama play out under the intense glare of public scrutiny, making every snap, touchdown, and sideline interaction a potential flashpoint for further rumor and intrigue. Industry insiders suggest that Waddle's revelation could also serve as a subtle warning to the Dolphins' management about the necessity of proactive conflict management. The implicit message, as interpreted by analysts, is that ignoring the emotional and social dynamics within the team can carry tangible consequences on field, from dropped passes to missed opportunities, which in a tightly contested season could be the difference between playoff contention and disappointment. Rumors now circulate about potential behind-the-scenes negotiations, whether informal discussions between veteran players or more structured interventions by coaching staff aimed at diffusing tension before it becomes irreparable. Fans and pundits are increasingly scrutinizing press conferences, interviews, and even casual social media interactions for hints of reconciliation or further deterioration in the relationship, turning each comment into a magnified narrative beat. Moreover, the Waddle-Hill dynamic has ignited broader debates about personality management, communication, and leadership in elite sports, framing the conflict as not merely an interpersonal dispute, but as a case study in how team chemistry can influence organizational success. The Dolphins' response, or lack thereof, will likely be analyzed for years, serving as a touchstone example of how locker room dynamics intersect with professional sports performance in highly visible ways. Reports from practice sessions suggest that teammates are acutely aware of the tension between Waddle and Hill, with subtle behavioral cues, sideline interactions, and body language offering clues to the underlying conflict. While some players reportedly maintain neutrality, others may have formed informal alliances, further complicating the internal social structure of the squad. Such dynamics can influence communication during critical moments on the field, affecting timing, coordination, and even strategic decision-making, highlighting the practical consequences of interpersonal discord in a high-performance environment. Rumor has it that coaching staff have attempted to implement strategies to mitigate the impact, such as rotating targets, adjusting routes, or creating space in the offensive scheme to allow both players to thrive without direct conflict. Yet insiders caution that such measures are temporary at best if underlying relational issues remain unresolved. The intrigue deepens as observers speculate on the potential escalation of these tensions, imagining scenarios ranging from mid-season trade rumors to public displays of frustration during games, illustrating how the personal can quickly become public in the modern sports media landscape, especially when it involves marquee players on a high-profile team like the Dolphins. The ripple effects of Waddle's statement may also extend to team morale, as the perception of favoritism, tension, or discord can subtly affect the attitudes and motivations of other players. In a sport where collective cohesion is often the difference between success and failure, the whispers around Hill and Waddle could influence locker room energy, practice intensity, and even strategic risk-taking on game days. The rumor mill continues to churn, fueled by every social media comment, analyst podcast, and insider tip, creating a feedback loop that amplifies the perceived severity of the conflict. Meanwhile, the Dolphins' management faces a delicate balancing act, addressing the interpersonal issues head-on without publicly admitting dysfunction, maintaining competitive performance on the field, and preserving the marketability and reputation of two of the franchise's most valuable assets. Fans remain captivated by the unfolding drama, treating each game as both a sporting contest and a potential episode in a long-running internal soap opera. In this context, Waddle's revelation functions as both a catalyst and a lens, transforming routine team dynamics into headline-grabbing intrigue, with consequences that may reverberate throughout the season and beyond. Speculation now abounds regarding the possible long-term implications of the Waddle-Hill feud for the Dolphins franchise. Some insiders predict that the team could eventually be forced to make difficult decisions regarding roster construction, potentially reshaping offensive schemes, trade priorities, and leadership hierarchies. Meanwhile, rival franchises may view the situation as a cautionary tale or even an opportunity, keenly observing Miami's ability or inability to manage interpersonal conflict while maintaining elite-level performance. Social media continues to amplify every minor development, with memes, reaction videos, and hot takes adding layers of narrative to an already complex situation, ensuring that fans remain deeply engaged, invested, and opinionated. Beyond the immediate drama, the story raises broader questions about the nature of professional sports culture, the management of star athletes, and the delicate balance between individual talent and collective cohesion. In this sense, Waddle's comments are more than a personal grievance. They represent a window into the intricate, high-pressure world of the NFL, where relationships off the field can be just as consequential as performance on it, and where a single revelation can ignite widespread speculation that influences perception, strategy, and even the trajectory of an entire season. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up.